Welcome back, welcome back, welcome back. It has been a while. On to Albion. There is a new update coming out in 20 days called the Queen Patch that will completely change the way Albion is played.
Welcome back, welcome back,
Instead of being ZVZ or GVG based, it's going to be ZVZ based, which means that as a guild, we need to think about how we're going to re-gear ourselves in the proper gear, and get out to the fight as fast as possible and be able to re-gear if we die. Um, and one of the things that we thought about was to use the chest, not on the guild island, but on the central hubs in all of the towns. So you can click on the chest in the central hub, and you click on your manage button, and you have all of your tabs that you can manage. And you can make as many tabs as you want. The first couple tabs are fairly cheap, but then they go up and up and up in price from there on. And if I wanted to create a new tab, I would click on here, and this is how much it's going to cost. So if I want to create another tab, it's going to cost around $3 million. Which isn't bad, because in each tab, other than your main bank, carries 100,000 kilograms, but each tab also carries 100,000 kilograms, and that's a lot of material that you can carry. Now, as you see on mine, I have some tabs set up: bank, capes, hellgates, mounts, relics, and then T4 through T8 gear. So I've got it nice and organized. I can click on whichever one I want to use, and it goes right into all the gear that I've got banked up. So how does this transfer over to ZVZ? Well, I can use this one called Hellgates, and you can call yours ZVZ or whatever, and I can put my sets in there and everything that I'm going to need for those sets. So it's a great idea to have more than one set ready to go. So I have put in a DPS, a bruiser, for axes. I also have in here a setup for healing, which I got to get some more boots. And then I also have set up for a tank roll. So at any point, at any ZVZ, I'm going to be ready for that particular fight in three different fashions, three different forms. Um, because really, if you die in a ZVZ, you can turn the tide by re-gearing as fast as possible and getting back out to the fight. And then you can also look at, well, maybe healing wasn't great for me. What do I need to change into? Well, our team is lacking in tanks, so I'm going to go out in tank gear. Or my team is lacking in DPS, so I'm going to go out in DPS. If you have to search for stuff, or you have to go to the marketplace and buy stuff, that is time that's wasted. So we want to re-gear as fast as possible to get back out to that fight. So this is a great way to make sure that you're getting back out to that fight. Because once Queen hits to take territories, it's going to be all ZVZ based. So it's not going to be GVG based anymore, which is very, very important for even the little guilds. So you might be outmatched, you might be outmanned, you might be weaker than your opponent, but if you can re-gear and get back out to the fight, you can change the tide, rather than wasting time buying gear, messing around. Um, so I would strongly suggest you to look over the ZVZ builds, and I can post a link in here. Let me pull it up and get it going here on appropriate ZVZ builds that we use. Find a couple that work for you and your spec and use it. Get it set up. Get everything in a tab. Get your mounts. Get your energy. Get a couple bags just in case that you need bags for whatever. Get potions and food. I also threw in a couple hammers here, so I know where my hammers are at if I want to go knocking on castle doors or outposts or whatever. So I'm not wasting valuable time, uh, screwing around at the auction house, messing through my tabs, looking for my chests. Everything is here. Everything is in order, nice and neat. And you can set yours up however. I like to have it up to where uh, you can also go quick equip, so it'll quick equip whatever you have on the left hand side. It just throws it right on, so you can do that. So you can also have your gear already set to the different roles that you need for that gear. So if I was to put this halberd on and equip it, like I don't have two of my things equipped for this one, so now I'm wasting even more time. So you could even take it one step further, like what the GVG guys do, and have all of your items, your spells, your attacks already set up for those GVG weapons for that ZVZ that you're getting ready to go into. So regearing is very, very important. Also throw in a couple energy in case you need to overcharge, and of course have your capes and all of that stuff. Now another thing with the Queen patch that you need to be aware of is, as it stands right now, like 4.1 gear is just as powerful as 5, 5.1 is just as powerful as 6, and so on. Once Queen hits, flat 6 gear is going to be more powerful than 5.1. So what we want to do is we want to gear towards a 6.1 build. So if there's something that you can't run in a 6.1 gear, you need to fame farm, use tomes, level that up, whatever and however you can do that to fit into that 6.1 gear. Now if you're wanting to be on the GVG side of things, you need to get that gear to at least 6.2. And in reality, possibly even flat 8, because flat 8 is going to be more powerful spec-wise once you add that spec into it than 6.2. Now when you're talking about relics, artifacts, and things like that, of course we want to go for like 4.2 at the lowest, 4.3, 5.2, 5.3, somewhere in there, because those relics are going to be a little bit cheaper than 6. T6 relics are rather on the more pricey side of things. So price-wise for relics, and you got to remember, like, a relic item is going to be more powerful than a normal item. So out of these two here, my 6.1 halberd is going to be just as powerful as my flat 6 in Infernal Scythe. So your relics and artifact pieces, those weapons are going to be produce more damage. They're going to heal better. So we can gear those a little bit lower, 4.2, 4.3, 5.2, 5.3, things like that. So that's one way to save money. So again, build you a tab in your bank, in whatever city that you're going to be in, whether it's Carleon, Fort Sterling, wherever. Build you a tab and get all of your sets or how you're going to play in that ZVZ ready to go and built up. So when Queen hits on the 20th, you are ready to go. This is another helpful tutorial from Ben Riley, and we will see you guys next time.